Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I have my phone here, as you can see. That's where I'm keeping the list on here, so yeah, why garden? 10 reasons why I love gardening. Number one, this is probably on a lot of people's lists, but it kind of makes you self-sufficient. Over time especially, you begin to build up a big system, and by gardening you when you start, you're really like beginning a journey towards self-sufficiency, where you become less dependent on others for food. Rather than going to the store, you get it at home, and it becomes a nice system where you can be at home and self-sufficient basically. So yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. Number two, your food is your food. That's what I said here, but what I mean by that is that your food it's close by. So that's a great benefit of gardening. It could be out on your side patio, in your backyard, but it's still better than going to the store. But also, like specifically when you start your plants from seed, you actually know what's in your food, and that's an important thing. It's not like going to the grocery store and they might be using who knows what for pesticides, fertilizers, etc. But it's a special relationship you kind of get with the plant, when you start to start it off with a seed. Or maybe you're eating a strawberry. You take that little seed out. You start it as a little seedling here. See it grow. You might transplant it, bring it outside, start it in a greenhouse, whatever. But you get to water it, see it produce, and you know what you're feeding it. What soil mixture it's in, what you're adding for fertilizer, if any. And you just get to. It's a very special feeling. Like if you've grown something and ate it yourself, then you know what I'm talking about here. But that's another benefit to gardening, why I love it and why I do it. Number three, it saves money. This could be a little controversial, but I've seen enough fellow YouTubers, like I've seen enough videos where people say like, hey, I was able to grow thousands of pounds of food, and it far outweighed the cost. The cost of the food was way more than what they had put into the garden. Of course, you could argue, there's a lot of labor, but if it's a labor of love and something you enjoy doing, is it really work? It's still worth it then, right? So it depends how you quantify the time, and of course, you have water and soil costs and things like that. But the nice thing too is if you start off with that, over time you just build up a whole ecosystem. So each year it's typically like less expensive because a lot of times the plants will come back the next year, or you'll have the soil ready to go. So a lot of that initial cost, or like a raised garden bed, you already have that. So then it gets better over time. But so yeah, I would argue it saves money. Number four, kind of a unique one, but I would say the labor is fun. Yeah, gardening is a labor of love. I enjoy being in the garden. There's something about using your own hands to create a soil mix, transplant different plants, start from seed, water them daily, and experience the excitement of watching something grow. It's really exciting, especially when you're starting from a little seed, pops out through the soil, and especially with food, right? Like it begins to produce fruit, vegetable, whatever it is. It's a really cool feeling. Yeah, it's super cool. Whether it's ornamentals, or fresh food, it's exciting. Number five here, I say the labor is healthy, both the physical exercise but also the food itself. So what I put down for this one is, not only is being in the garden fun, but it's a natural way to exercise. It's a fun workout, whether you're carrying heavy bags to your car to bring home to your raised bed, moving plants across from one side of the house to another, or just spending lots of time down on your knees and bending lots. It's a good way to burn calories, while you also have fun. Helps you stretch out too. And going along the health train of thought here too, the food itself is healthier than what you buy at the store typically. Like we talked about earlier, like you see what you put into the soil, and you know where you got that seed from, and you actually know you built that relationship with it. You know how you took care of the plant, and you know where it's from. So it's a lot different than like when you buy it from the store and you're like, I don't know how old this is, what was given to it, you know, etc. So yeah, a lot of times it's like healthier too. Yeah, like I said, because you get to decide what you feed your plants, what soil to put it in, when to harvest it, and what, if any, fertilizer you use. It's not full of artificial ingredients, preservatives, or harmful pesticides or fertilizers, but rather you can choose how to care for your plants, even from the seeds if you buy them, or take them from food you eat in your home. Number 6, gardening creates a natural landscaping environment. It beautifies your home, in other words, is what I put here. So yeah, especially if you're growing for ornamental purposes, you know, not as much about food here. I'm big on like, you know, growing stuff that you can eat, but you know, but ornamentally speaking too, it's like you can grow, you know, in your front yard, backyard, patio, etc. You can make that space and have it look stunning and natural, especially if you live in like the suburbs or the cities. You know, you have a lot of the, I don't know, like street lights and streets and people and cars and technology and all of that. And it almost creates like a little oasis amidst the chaos. Like you might feel like you're in a rainforest. You might feel like you're, you know, yeah, somewhere tropical. You can make the environment how you want to, of course, but it's like your little private oasis away from the busy world, especially if you're in the city, and you're creating a garden space. And that's a fun process too, in and of itself, and watching it grow over time too. Number 7 here, it's really a place of, I put healing, connection, vulnerability, relaxation, prayer, comfort, etc. What I really mean is like your garden can be a space where you can hang out with your friends, have, you know, deep conversations with God, your partner, etc. I like to be out in the garden just to pray. Like as a Christian, you know, that's an important thing, and it's something I enjoy doing, and in the peace of a garden and just being surrounded by God's beautiful creation. It's something I enjoy. Some people might, you know, work out in the garden. Can relax, of course, read a book, sit on your laptop, do some work. You know, it's anything you want. It creates a nice scenery for whatever you're doing. Number 8 here, gardening. It's educational. I've learned so much from gardening, whether it's how to start from seeds, to choosing your soil, and what the essential nutrients are for every plant, how to clone plants, etc. There's so much to learn and so much variety in horticulture and the study of plants. Number 9, it's good for the environment. Of course, gardening, it's like seeing the cycle of nature, whether I pick up sticks in the yard or use fall leaves for compost or filling the bottom of my raised garden beds. You can repurpose almost anything in the garden, so that's kind of a cool, it kind of helps in your sustainability, but also, yeah, like in the sustainability it helps with, but also it's good for the environment too, because instead of throwing that away and using it as waste, you're putting it back into the environment. And I did look up some things, of course, on Google for this, but the plants help really release oxygen into the atmosphere, absorb carbon dioxide. They help regulate the water cycle. So those are some other ways it's beneficial to the environment and to the earth. And they also provide essential nutrients to animals, of course. It's kind of a bonus thing, but you can also have a lot of cool species attracted through your garden. So like last year, I remember our, I think it was our oregano plants had a lot of, and parsley. We had them in like a container together, and we had all these old monarch caterpillars that were on there, and that was really beautiful. And then of course we saw monarch butterflies, so that's a beautiful species that can be attracted through gardening. Number 10, it's natural. It's as simple as that. It's natural. In this day and age, everything can seem to be online, which I know it's a bit hypocritical saying that as I'm posting this online, but that's why I'm utilizing this outlet too, though, in this outlet platform, to encourage others to go outside. And what better way than to be in your garden? Everything seems to be digital in this day and age, and number 10 here is really a simple point, but the fact that gardening is natural, or in nature, is a world of a difference than spending time with technology like so many of us do in this digital age. And of course I'm not saying technology is bad, but everything should be in moderation, of course. And being that gardening is natural, we get to experience the world, see the beautiful processes that God has designed, whether it's photosynthesis, bees pollinating, and so forth. Being in the garden will teach you a lot of skills as you search and look online, or even just learn yourself or do your own experiments. The possibilities are really endless, and there's of course millions of different combinations of things that you can grow, and so many different species, and it's just a fun process. Yeah, that's kind of my top 10 reasons why I like to garden and why I think more people should garden. If you have any additional reasons why you like gardening, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Also, if you like this style of video where I'm kind of doing like a countdown, let me know what I should do a countdown for next, or a top list for. I didn't really say this either, but the list wasn't in any particular order. It was just kind of random, 1 through 10. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.